guys, I think we can start up with the class, right? So we should start with the class, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you see my screen, guys? Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, uh, in the last class, we discussed on image enhancement in spatial filtering, right? So, in image enhancement in spatial filtering, we had, I think we studied on gray level histogram, then histogram equalization and all. Then we have another topic, image enhancement in frequency domain. Okay, so frequency domain, I'll explain it later on. So today we'll start off with the third unit. Okay, so third unit, this is on image compression. So what do you understand by compression? What do you understand by the term compression?
Reduce something.
To reduce something, okay, and
To reduce the original image without using any sort of pixels. To reduce its shape without using
okay, so
the image.
okay, so you're saying that reducing the size of image without compromising with the quality of the image, right? Yes. So image compression is that it is a technique where you can use to like compress, like you can reduce, you can diminish the size, that is you can diminish the size of an image without hampering the quality of the image. Okay, and you reduce this, that is you try to reduce the size of the image in order to save space or some other properties like that. Okay, so mainly we try to reduce it because in when we talk in terms of digital image processing, we memory, the term memory comes into being. Okay, and we don't have infinite memory in it, so we only save those information which is relevant. Okay, so image compression is a very important technique in image processing in order to reduce the size or yes, the size of the image without hampering the quality. Yes, you can't say that you can't hamper, we can't say that the quality of the image is not hampered, but yes, it is hampered in such a way that it is it is negligible. Okay, it is negligible, so in that way it is hampered. So okay, one sec guys. I hope Divya could join. Yes, Divya.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's start. So this is about image compression, that is when we talk about image compression, the goal of image compression is to reduce the amount of data which is required to represent a digital image. Okay, so here you can see a storage device is being shown, and this is a function f of xy, this is frequency of the function f of xy, and xy means some image, we are some image. Okay, we are considering some image. So this is suppose this image is compressed. We are trying to compress this image. After compressing the image, we are storing it in the storage device. Okay, and then this is stored, and then after compression, it is again, if you want to transmit this image or data, and it is transmitted using a channel, and then again, or else you can also retrieve it from the storage device and you can decompress it. Okay, so compression and decompression. So these are two very important terms that you will get in this chapter. Okay, so image compression is to reduce the amount of the data which is required to represent a digital image. That is, we only keep those data which is relevant and important. Okay, then data and information. So we often come across the term data and information. So what do you mean by data? See, you can't say that data and information, these two. Yes,
Means useful information.
information. No, already this is given. Data is not equals to information. So these data and information, these are not synonymous terms. Okay. See, data means by which the information is conveyed. That is, data means some facts and statistics, you can say. That is, these facts and statistics, these are collected together for reference or analysis. And information means, the information means you already know. That information which you have already gained, you already know. But data means it is collected from outside. Okay, data means it is collected from outside. These are some facts and figures which are collected together for reference or analysis. Okay, one sec again. Bora join korila na? Acha, tell me, today they are showing participants as 14. How come 14? We have only 12 students, including me is 13. हाँ,
डबल आ रहा है.
वो डबल आ रहा है, वही मैं डर गया, मैं सोचा सफी को ज्वाइन कर लिया. Okay, fine. So yeah, it's okay, random. मेरा भी आज कनेक्शन इतना ज्यादा भी ठीक नहीं है. It's raining. Okay, so data and information, you know, data and information, we think that it is like meaning is same, but actually it is not synonymous. Okay, that is, data means facts and figures. You collect it from outside. You try to collect it from outside. You gather it for reference or analysis. But information is something which you already know. Okay. Then talking about data compression. So data compression, it aims to reduce the amount of data which is required to represent a given quantity of information while preserving as much information as possible. Okay, so data compression and image compression, whatever you talk about, it is almost the same, because image means what? You are trying to show, you are trying to display data in the form of some figures, right? And data means like information, that is, it is by means of which information is conveyed. So, and data and compression, when it comes together, these, they try to reduce the amount of data which is required to display some form of information. Okay, some form of information they will display, while the other form of information, while some part of information, they will try to preserve it. Okay. Okay, then data versus information. Okay, so same amount of information can be represented by various amounts of data. That is, the information which you already know, it is already in you, which you already know, that can be represented by different types of or different amounts of data. So you can use same information to display different types of data. Okay, so that is data versus information. Then what is compression ratio? Okay, so suppose you can see a figure here. You can see two figures actually. So this is data set 1 and this is data set 2. So data set 1, it comprises of an original image, and data set 2 comprises of a compressed image, that is the original image after being compressed, that is after performing compression on the data set 1 you get the compressed image, that is data set 2. So data set 1, the original image, that is the original image, it is carrying units, n1 carrying units, that is, say for example, bits, that is it may be 8 bits, it may be 10 bits and so on. Again, compressed image, which is the compressed form of the original image, it is represented by n2. This is also carrying bits, that is bits of in the form of units in the form of bits. Say for example, when suppose data set 1, that is original image, is of 20 bits. Okay, so 20 bits, if it is compressed, say it may come to 2 bits or 1 bit or something like that. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is we have to know about the compression ratio. So you can't just keep on compressing a thing. There is some limited ratio also, that is by default some ratio is also there. So compression ratio is nothing but it is original image by the compressed image, that is after original image is being compressed, you get the information in terms of bits. Yes, so compressed ratio is nothing but n1 by n2, that is the original image by the compressed image. Okay, so keep in mind this. Okay, CR equals to, that is compression ratio is determined by the term CR. Okay, and CR equals to n1 by n2. We'll get to solve some sums later on, so just keep this equation in mind. Okay, then we have data redundancy. Acha, what do you understand by the term redundant?
To control the repetition.
To control the repetition. Okay.
Repetition.
Okay, to control repetition. Fine. And actually redundant, in short, in layman language, it means useless. Okay, that is useless information. So data redundancy here, what do you understand? So the term itself says data redundancy, that is the data that is redundant, that is no longer in use, that is no longer useful. Okay, so data redundancy is also a very important term. These are you get a lot of interesting terms in image compression. Okay, so, but just try to keep in mind mainly the this what to say, the equations. Okay, so data redundancy means information or data which is no longer useful. Okay, it may be stored in the memory, but that is not required. Then relative data redundancy. So relative data redundancy is another term, and this is defined by RD equals to 1 minus 1 by CR. What do you understand by relative? What do you understand by relative?
Similar.
Similar, yes, that is related. So relative or related data redundancy, it is given by RD equals to 1 minus 1 by CR. That is, CR is the compression ratio. Okay, we don't have exact definitions for these terms, but by reading the term, yes, redundant, relative also means dependent. Yes, so by reading the terms, like when you see the term, you should be able to you should be able to acknowledge the terms, that is because you don't have exact definitions for it. Okay, and so since we don't have definitions, but at least we have the equations. So if you know one equation, it is related to the other. Okay, so just try to remember, that is compression ratio CR is this, and redundant, that is relative data redundancy, is it is defined by the term RD. So for example, say compression ratio is given here 10/1. That is 10 means this is the original size in bits. Okay, original size of the image in bits, and 1 is the compressed size of the original image. This is in the term of bits. So compression ratio is equals to 10:1. That is, when you define relative data redundancy, it is 1 minus 1 by CR, that is 1 minus 1 by 10, that is equals to 0.09. So from here you can definitely make out that 90% of the data in data set, only 1% is redundant. The rest 90% is useful. Only 1% is useless. Okay. That is, if n equals small n2 equals to n1, then CR equals to suppose 1 and RD equals to 0. That is, if n2 and n1 these are equal, then compression ratio becomes 1, and then relative redundancy becomes 1 minus 1 is 0. But if in n2 n1, you know, n2 means the compressed image, n1 is the original image. But if compressed image is less than the original image, then compression ratio, it tends to infinity, and the value of redundant, that is relative redundancy, becomes 1. Okay, so these are the terms. That is, if you remember one equation or one say definition, then you can put these values, and then you can take out the rest. Okay, so at least try to remember the equation. So CR equals to n2 n1 by n2, and redundancy redundant, that is relative redundancy, is RD equals to 1 minus 1 by CR. Okay, then we have types of data redundancy. Okay, so in image compression, when we in image compression, we try to talk about some types of data redundancy. Here 3 types are used. We have another type that is known as chromatic redundancy, that is related to colors in an image. Okay, but that is not much important. In here we have to study only 3 types, that is coding redundancy, interpixel redundancy, and psychovisual redundancy. So what is the main goal of image compression is it tries to reduce one or more of these redundancy types. That is, what it is trying to say is, in an image or in some data, these types of redundancy, that is these 3 types of redundancy will be these 3 types of redundancies will be present in the image. Okay, so compression becomes successful only when it is able to reduce one or more of these redundancy types. Okay, then we have coding redundancy. So coding redundancy, this is related with coding. Okay, this is related with coding. So we have code, that is, it is a list of symbols which comprises of letters, numbers, bits, etc. So mainly we will talk about bits and numbers. Okay, and code word means it is a sequence of symbols which is used to represent a piece of information or event. And sequence of symbols, say for example gray levels, we will use some sequence of symbols to represent information like gray level of an image. And finally code word length, this is number of symbols in each code word. Okay, so see how these 3 terms are related to each other. My mouse is not working. One second. গোটেইকেইটা স্লাইড ডিলিট হৈ থাকিলে মোৰ গোটেইকেইটা স্লাইড ডিলিট হৈ থাকিলে ছাৰ ফালতু চালা গোটেইকেইটা স্লাইড ডিলিট হৈ থাকিলে One second, guys. My touchpad is giving so much problem. The whole slide got deleted only. I don't know how. Just give me a minute, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this slide, I made it, I think, 2 days back. It consists of 74 slides. And if this gets deleted, means Bhagwan. Oh, thank God, it didn't get deleted. Okay. What else to do now? 10 minutes, huh? So to read him. Last minute there, read him. 3 doesn't I reckon. Okay. So where were we? Okay, so types of data redundancy. So now you know what is data redundancy, right? So data redundancy, it consists of actually 4 main types. We have chromatic redundancy as well. So we only explain about coding, interpixel and psychovisual redundancy, okay? And compression means the goal of compression is to reduce or to eliminate the redundant information, right? So compression becomes successful only when it is able to reduce any one of these redundancy types, okay? So just remember these. Then we have coding. Okay, coding redundancy we have already got, that is it consists of code, code word and code word length. And code, these all are interrelated. That is, code means some list of symbols which consist of letters and numbers and bits. We'll talk about numbers and bits more. Then code word means these are some sequence of symbols which are used to represent some piece of information, say gray level of an image, okay? And then code word length means the number of symbols it is used to represent in each code word, okay? So this is an example. It is given binary code symbols. So binary code it is using, and in binary code we definitely talk about only zeros and ones, right? So in symbols means we'll only use 0 and 1, and length, suppose it will use 3. So see, so length is 3, symbols we use only zeros and ones, and this is a binary code. This is just an example. We'll get to solve sums later on, okay? Then going on to this, again we have, suppose n by m image. We are talking about n by m image, where RK, you know, we have, okay, it is just trying to define probability of RK, that is probability distribution function of RK, and RK is where K stands for kth gray level, okay? Kth gray level. And we already know how to solve probability. Yes, probability distribution function, we already know how to solve this, right? So, and this is L of RK, that is, this is the number of bits for RK, and this is the expected value. So these are, you'll get a lot of terms and equations in this subject, okay? You don't have to remember everything. I'll tell you the most important ones you have to remember, okay? Then we have this. Okay, so these are some cases. So suppose this is given gray level from 0 to 7, that is L is 8. What is L? L means the maximum gray level. Yes, and here L is 8, that is from 0 to 7 means 8. So assume that the image has gray level from 0 to 8, that is 0 to 7, that is 8. So if you now place the values, okay, we can place the values, that is for calculating the probability. So probability, how do you remember how to calculate the probability? Yes, how to calculate probability? Remember, PR equals to NK by N. Remember what is NK? NK means the pixel value for the particular gray level, right? And small n means the total number of overall pixels, yes? So nk by n. So this is nothing but they are calculating the probability of these gray level functions. Okay, just take down this example. You can solve it out. You can solve it afterwards, not now. I'll explain it anyhow. Just take it down. Okay, take it down. And this is an example of coding redundancy. Okay, so just take it down and assume that the image is, that is, it is already given L equals to 8, that is 8 gray levels. Then L of RK equals to 3. L is what? This is the length. Then L average. So we calculate the L average. L average is nothing but this is the formula. Okay, this is the formula. Anyway, I'll give you the present PPT today. You can't finish off everything today, but still. So this is the form. Just take this. Take down this example. You can solve it later on. You just have to keep the values in the equation. Okay. Okay. Did you take it down, or just take a screenshot? It will be easy for you.
Done, ma'am. Taking screenshot.
Okay. So this is okay. So this is case 1. That is when length is constant. L of RK, that is length. So this is constant length, that is the length they have taken is constant. See, this is 3. For each gray level, the length is constant, that is 3. Now, when coding, we talk about, so they are solving it this. Now, okay, we had another case actually. One more is case 2, that is of variable length. Okay, nothing, no problem. So in variable length, what happens? The length of the length will be of variable size, that is it is not fixed. Here in case 1, length is constant, that is it is fixed. But in variable length, it is not fixed. You can take the values. This is 3, it may be 2, it may be 4, 5. So in that way. Okay, then this is the sum. Okay, this is code 1, this is code 2. So see, this is the same image they are taking, that is from gray level 0 to 8. This is the value. So when you calculate it taking the length as constant, that is L of RK is constant, then this is the thing, these are the values. And when you take case 2 as of variable length, see, this is of variable length. So when it is 2, this is code is this. When you take the length as 2, again this. Again when you take the length as 3, this is this. So you just have to remember that we have 2 cases for coding redundancy. One is constant length, one is of variable length. And these are just some examples. Actually, you will be given the values. You have to keep these values in this. Yes, you can't directly keep. You have to calculate a probability and the cumulative distribution function. So guys, I hope you remember those sums. So these are all continuation of the other sums. Okay, and after that you have to keep the values here and you have to calculate it. Okay, then so here they are calculating L average. So they are using this formula. So L average equals to summation k equals to 0 to 7, that is from 0 to 7 gray levels, 3 p of RK. And p of RK is this. You have to calculate it bit by bit. Okay, so we have probability values, all different values for these 8 gray levels. Okay, then CR, you know, compression ratio is original size by the compressed size, that is n1 by n2. So here suppose n is 3, n1, that is original size is 3, compressed size say they are taking as 2.7, that is this 2.7, so this is 1.1, that is this is the compression ratio. And redundancy, that is redundant relative redundancy is 1 minus 1 by 1.11. So this sum looks very small, but this also carries 10 marks. Why? Because you have to know the equation for L average, you have to know the equation for compression ratio, and you have to know the equation for relative redundancy. Yes, so after knowing the equations, you have to keep the values in equations, and then you'll get these values. Okay, and for that the table also has to be correct. Okay, here too they have given all the values, but in some cases you get the sums as you have to calculate the codes. Okay, first you have to calculate this, then you have to calculate the codes. So in that way it becomes a bit complicated. So still no big deal if you remember the equations. Okay, so direct formulas. Then second type of redundancy is, that is data redundancy, is interpixel redundancy. Interpixel redundancy, so the word itself says that is it is related to each other. So interpixel means the pixel values are correlated. That is, one pixel value, the value of one pixel is related to the value of the other pixel. That is, a pixel value can be reasonably predicted by its neighbors. Okay, because these are interdependent. So interpixel redundancy. Yes, and this is the equation for interpixel redundancy. Okay, so then this is the image, that is they are trying to show it in form of some matchsticks. Okay, and then they are calculating, they are taking the two images and their gray level histogram and normalized autocorrelation. Sorry. So these are not much important. You have to know the definitions, and if possible give the example of the images. Okay, image also no need, because you can't keep on drawing all this. Okay, if possible you can draw, but okay, these things actually you have to calculate it in MATLAB. Okay, so once you calculate it, then you can get, this is just the histogram of these two images. See, they are showing three levels here, and see, this is that is, one is original, one is compressed, but see, these are not much of difference. It's not showing much of a difference. That is redundant data. I think there is not much of redundant data in these. Okay, then this is, so to reduce interpixel redundancy, data must be transformed into another format. That is, again, interpixel, when we talk about interpixel redundancy, the data is transformed from one format to the other format. That is simply using some transformation. And transformation, for example, you can use thresholding, you can use the discrete Fourier transform, discrete wavelength transform, etc. Okay, these two topics will get in unit 2 in the second part, that is image enhancement in Fourier frequency domain. This will be talking on later. Okay, then we have, so this is, they are showing the example. Oh wait, this overlapped. This is nothing but, this is thresholding. Okay, no problem. This is thresholding. Okay, it went to the other side. So this is the original image, and this is the output image after performing thresholding on it, and this is the horizontal coordinate, that is, they are showing it in form of some histogram. That is, these are the gray levels of this original image. Then this is run length encoding. This also we will get in later on. I won't explain it now, you won't understand. Okay, so interpixel redundancy is nothing but, this is, the pixel values are related to each other. That is, when you look at when you can define one pixel, you can get the value of it by predicting it from its neighbor pixels. And we can also reduce interpixel redundancy with the help of using some transformations. That is, the data has to be transformed from one format to the other in order to reduce it, and these are the examples. Okay, then the third type is psychovisual redundancy. So psychovisual redundancy means it is related to psychology. That is, the human, we can say the human eye, psycho and visual. That is, the human eye does not respond with equal sensitivity to all the visual information. That is definitely right. When you look at an object, the original actually the original object is something, and the human eye is only able to perceive some part of it. Okay, so and that defines everything, that defines so many properties, that is color, edge, and everything, right? So the human eye, it is not able to respond with equal sensitivity to all the information that it is looking at. So because it is more but it is more sensitive to lower frequencies, right? So it is more sensitive to lower frequencies than to higher frequencies in the visual spectrum, that is definitely. So idea for psychovisual redundancy, that is how to reduce psychovisual redundancies: discard the data that is perceptually insignificant. Definitely, that is the ones which you cannot see, you can directly discard it. So that is psychovisual redundancy. Okay, and these types of redundancies you will get problems also. Okay, you will get sums to solve, a bit complex, but okay, no problem. Then we get, this is again example of psychovisual redundancy. They are applying quantization. Okay guys, can you remember the terms sampling and quantization? What is quantization? Remember, we showed quantization of the image, taking the image of Einstein. Yes, starting from 0 to 255. Do you remember that? How the quality of the image it changed when we spoke about the different gray levels. So same here, they are applying quantization. This is for 256 gray level, this is 16 gray level, again this is 16 gray levels, but these are some, there is also some random noise present in it. Okay, and this is again they are calculating some compression ratio. It is given, it is original bits, it is 8, compress this 4, so 2:1. That is add to each pixel a small pseudo random number prior to quantization. Okay, if you can remember quantization, guys, quantization, sampling, if you can remember these definitions, these concepts only, you will be able to remember these. Okay, anyway, so we have many types of criteria also: fidelity criteria, then subjective fidelity criteria, objective fidelity criteria. See, so many equations are there in this chapter, but this chapter is very interesting also, because you may have a lot of equations, but when you try to solve the sums, the values will already be given. You just have to put on the values in the equations here. Okay, but not exactly. You have to also calculate that probability and cumulative and all the gray levels. Okay, so step by step. Okay guys, I won't go on to fidelity criteria. Let's stop it here, because we have a lot of things, like we have a lot in our plate, but we can't digest it in the same day. Okay, so okay guys, you want to do a lab today, or you want to keep it for Saturday? If you want, I can take up the lab for 1 hour. What should I do? Tell me. Adinala hai. Acha, lab. How many lab programs have we completed? We have total 7. So how many have we completed till now? I think 2 or 3. 2 or 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Two, ma'am.
Yeah,
2 na? Okay. If it is 2, then we have 5 more left. Okay, those, it's easy only, not a big deal. I'm thinking of increasing the programs at least by 2 or 3. I want to make it till 10, because programs are very easy actually. Okay, so let's see. Okay, okay, so I think today all of you are present, so let's stop it here for today. Okay, we'll continue it in the next, that is tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we have CMS class as well. Okay,
yes, ma'am.
yes. Okay, so we'll see you. Okay, see you guys tomorrow then. Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.